It is a beautiful, rainy fall day here in Bozeman, Montana. And for the next couple of days, I will be filming at an event, a seminar maybe, that has to do with using traditional and indigenous foods in school lunch programs. So a lot of schools are here represented that are going to learn how to use these types of foods in their school lunch programs. This morning, the first day, we are headed to a buffalo ranch, a bison ranch, north of Bozeman. That's where I'm headed right now. And then I think this afternoon we're going to a food lab to see, what type of foods they can make. And then tomorrow we're going to a processing plant where they process the bison. So I'll be filming for the next 2 days. Sad story. About 5 minutes ago, I was driving and I had my NX800 because I already got some shots by the hotel and stuff of the participants and them gathering, figuring out what they're going to do today. And then I left. I put my NX800 on the passenger side. I came to a red light and I kind of had to brake. I was going just a little too fast. I wasn't speeding or anything, but I kind of slammed on and my NX800 came rolling off of the seat and the mic handle broke. But I haven't gotten a chance to really look at it, but I think you can take that part off. It looks like it screws off. So hopefully I can just buy a part for it and I don't have to send it in.
So a little backstory on how this client found me. If you remember last summer, I filmed an interview with my wife, who at the time was the librarian at our local tribal college. And I handed off that footage to another filmmaker here in Montana. Anyways, fast forward to a couple months ago, and that filmmaker that did that video was working on another project for a different organization that needed some content filmed nearby to where I live. So instead of her, driving clear across the state, they just asked if I'd be willing to film it. And that's how she knew about me, was from the interview that I filmed last summer. And so in September of this year, I think it was, I met with her and this other organization that she was doing this project for, the one that I talked about in my previous blog. Anyways, when I get done with that Zoom meeting, that organization reaches out to me separately about coming to film at this event here in Bozeman. And they reached out to the other filmmaker, let her know about it, because I think the funding sources were completely separate and she was fine with them hiring me for this project. And it's interesting because it just goes to show sometimes you don't know where your next client is going to come from. So sometimes it happens really quickly and other times it takes a while. For instance, I've been making YouTube videos for over a year now, 13, 14 months. I've yet to be hired because someone saw my YouTube, but I've been hired here within hours of meeting someone. So it just goes to show sometimes you don't know where your next client is going to come from.
I was able to remedy the situation by gaff taping the mic holder back on there, so I haven't got a chance to fully inspect it. I think it looks like I could unscrew that and just replace the whole unit. I'm hoping that's the case, but this is what I got going on.
So we didn't spend too much time here at the Buffalo Ranch or the property. So a lot of what I shot here, not much of it is going to make it into the final video. So I guess I'll share some of what I shot here on the blog.
So I'm over by Bozeman, and if you've watched Yellowstone, it's kind of where it's supposed to be taking place at. If you have any aspirations of moving to Montana because you've watched Yellowstone, it's October 15th to be exact, and it's like 35 degrees, maybe 40, but it's cold, and it was snowing earlier, so just so you know.
After we visited the Buffalo Ranch, we made our way back to the facility where they did a few lectures for the participants, and so I spent time just gathering footage of that, and then I also went downstairs and floated back and forth between the two places. So in the kitchen, the chef, he was preparing the buffalo meat for the next day when they were going to do some like hands-on cooking. So that's what I spent the rest of that afternoon doing.
It's snowing now. On site waiting for the building to open, so I'll give you a little update on the NX800. I checked, and you can screw off the mic holder. Apparently they do that so it's easier to transport or store, which makes sense. The problem is though is I'm trying to find a replacement part online for it, and I don't see that they sell it anywhere. Like, I don't think Sony lists it as an accessory. So like, it comes off, but there's no replacement parts that I can find yet. If you happen to know where any are, please let me know. But it doesn't make sense that you would be able to take it off, because like, if there's anything that breaks on any of the Sony cameras, whether it's the FX6, the FX3, 30, it's the mic holder, because they protrude out. I see online all the time that those are always the first things to break, and sure enough, I broke mine, but I was being dumb. It was my fault. But if you know where you can get a replacement, because I looked it up, you can find them for different style mic holders for Sony's, but not the NX800.
So the second day of the event consisted of me. They split the participants up into two groups, and so I stuck around with one group as they prepared the buffalo for the lunch that they were going to have that day. The chef kind of showed them some different recipes and, you know, how to cut the buffalo into different pieces for cooking. Then after lunch, we went to a slaughterhouse. I didn't get any footage of that. I was just, you know, things were moving pretty fast. So here's a look at my cart. I was able to wheel my cart in, and I ended up using the FX6, the FX30, and the NX800 on this project. I felt like I had them all right there, so I just grabbed whatever camera I needed in the moment. But that was it for those 2 days. I also did a sit-down interview. One of the people hosting the event. That was pretty much my time here in Bozeman.
From Bozeman. Now, I mentioned in my last video that I haven't been doing a lot of editing, but with this project I am, which is nice because it allows me to make money while I'm at home. With the other jobs, it's nice that I don't have to bring it with me, but then again, I don't make as much money. So it's nice to have an editing job. I'm actually excited to edit this one. I have to edit 4 videos. They're all vertical content, which I had to keep in mind while I was filming last week that because the footage was going to be handed off to it was being used by two organizations. One was going to shoot it, I think edit the video as just normal 9x16 or 16:9, and then the other place, which I'm doing the editing for, they're shooting vertical, or they want it to be vertical content. So I had to keep that in mind while I was shooting, that I'm shooting for both horizontal and vertical. So but I think it's still going to turn out good. Yeah, like I said, I'm excited to work on this one, so that's what I'm going to do this week. All right, so I have a question for you. When you're working on a video for a client, you're editing, how do you go about picking the music? Because that's where I always struggle, and that's what I probably spend the most time doing, unnecessary time doing, is trying to pick out the music. I always struggle with it. I feel like every song I listen to doesn't fit with what I'm working on. It's either way too dramatic, slightly corny, or it just, I don't know what genre to look for when I'm doing a particular video. So that's my question. 1, how do you go about finding music? 2, what music licensing service do you use? And how do you weed through their database of music? Currently, and I've been using for the last number of years, 5 years, I think, probably, is like I've used Artlist, and I don't know. I feel like it's just okay, but I don't know, because I can't I haven't really used any other service. I've thought multiple times of switching to a different one, but I feel like I'd have to wade through all of their music to figure out which one. Maybe Artlist is the best, I don't know. I just feel like I have a hard time figuring out what music to use. Like for my own stuff, for like my vlogs, it's easy because I know I'm looking for something chill, like lo-fi, hip-hop stuff, like easy. When I'm working for clients, man, I can't find, like, I struggle so bad. Lately, what I've found what works is under the genre part where you can filter, I usually go with ambient. I feel like that's pretty like middle of the road, like it can fit for a lot of different style videos. So for this particular video I'm working on, it was an event where lunch service or food service professionals came in and did like hands-on training. So what kind of music would you use for a video like that? You know, I don't want something too upbeat, because then I feel like that comes across as corny. But I don't want something too dramatic, because the video's like not dramatic really. Lately, I feel like the ambient stuff, if you find the right one, it's pretty like middle of the road. Like it's not too much and it's not too little. I feel like it kind of gets the job done. But I'm curious how you approach music for videos that you're working on for your client. Please let me know. So here's what I figured out for a song for the video. Let me see, I'll play it for you and then I'll show you what I did. So I feel like it's kind of chill. It fits the vibe of the video. But what I don't like about it, and I guess this is kind of a cool thing about some of the songs on Artlist, is you can mess with the stems. So on this particular song, I took out the drums and the vocals. There's just like a few vocals on it. Nobody's really singing or anything. So hold on. I muted those.
so it's more just like the synth and the guitars and stuff like that. This is what it sounds like. I feel like it's really subdued and laid back, and I think the client will like it. Alright, so it's been a minute since I last updated you on the editing for this project, and I wanted to show you something that has helped me tremendously for this particular project in the editing. So when I was interviewing the main lady for the video, there was something going on in the background that I couldn't see. It was like a loud boom, or there was like a loud crash. It actually happened twice, and it was pretty jarring in the interview. So I'm going to show you how I fixed it. I had to use AI, and this is where AI just comes in so handy. Let me show you. Let me see if I could get good audio. So I'm using, it's called Adobe Podcast. I just looked up on Google and found it. And so this is what the original sounded like. You can kind of hear that loud crash, and then I upload it, and this is what it spit back. So it took it out pretty much completely. I showed the original, I kind of did a rough draft of the video. I showed it to my wife, and she said at that part with that loud crash that it was so jarring that she didn't even want to watch the rest of the video. So I knew I had to fix it. So I'm thankful. Like I said, I just went to Google and typed in best AI for audio, and this was one of the top ones that popped up, Adobe Podcast. And I've heard about it before, never used it, but it's a web-based or a browser-based application. So, and it saved my butt on this project.